So hey everyone, I've read some of the comments. I'm seeing that audiences are one of the things that you guys are struggling with, which is funny because nowadays Facebook's algorithm has become so smart that audiences probably at this point are the least important. You can pretty soon leave it to the algorithm. So, but I will dive into that further soon. Let me read some of the questions. So if audiences are the main issue, is that because the ROAS is not what you're looking for, or you're not getting the results that you're looking for? Are you guys running ads already or just starting out? I'm 10 days into testing deal AI images for a customer. Went a bit safe, but scroll stopping images to start and getting about a 1 to 3% click-through rate increase. That's good. Yeah, open targeting works best. So when you have a brand new pixel or a brand new ad account, usually you need to lead Facebook into the right direction. So when I have a brand new account, I always start out with targeting interest. So let's say I am selling, or my client is selling a course on how to start running an Amazon business. Then I would start implementing targeting interest of people who are into entrepreneurship, people who are interested in Amazon, people want to make money online, just to lead the algorithm into the right direction and to basically get a head start. After a while, in my campaign, I always include one ad set that's completely broad. And what you will find out is the more you start spending, the better that broad ad set is going to run, because the algorithm is so much smarter than us. I mean, we're on a call about AI in general. We know that AI is already outperforming all of us, and it's going to become even even worse. Soon, AI is going to take over everything. That's what I'm thinking. And the algorithm is definitely a lot smarter than we are. So broad targeting for sure is working better, especially if you start scaling your ads a lot. So funny story about me and Alex. When I was working together with Alex about a year ago, I was running a lot of lookalike audiences, and he stepped in challenging me for a 1v1. And he said his broad strategy was going to work a lot better than my lookalike strategy. And I disagreed. And for the first 2 weeks, my lookalike strategy worked better. But what he was trying to say is over the course of 6 months or thousands and thousands of dollars of ad spend, his broad ad set is going to outperform my lookalike strategy for sure. And that's what happened. So yeah, broad targeting for sure works best. What are some other challenges that you guys are facing? I think it's best if I just go through some questions, answer them. We can open up the discussion. Do you use advantage or manual placement? I really like to use advantage placements. One piece of advice I would apply is, if you are using stories or reels, try to also export it into 4 or 5 placements. So you can have it both optimized for feed and for story. So when you go to ad level, you can actually post a creative for each placement and have it in different dimensions. So I always have my video editor or creative designer export all of the creatives in 4.5 and 9.16. So I've optimized for all placements.
Create giant ad sets, and I drop all the creatives in, and I let the engine pick it up and put it wherever it wants.
Yeah, and what I also test a lot is having one ad set with multiple different kind of ads. So I have a static, a carousel, a animated, a creative, and Facebook will rotate the creatives. Show a person first the static, then the carousel, then the video if you run video ads. And sometimes the static image is not getting a good CPA, but it is contributing to the eventual conversion, which might land on the carousel or the video.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. I always say there's not a single, like, it's never one optimal ad. Different ads resonate with different people in different stages of sales cycle and in different placements. So the approach is always have a bag of creatives. And then my approach is specifically is like I target like the largest possible audience ever with that bag of creatives. So that's kind of my approach to it. Now, some people are more surgical, and I have nothing against that, but I like the carpet bombing approach, essentially.
I know. I remember.
Yeah. Um,
When running ads, do you try to keep to the same story for a series, develop a story? How do you progress? Um, so what is the exact question here?
so it's like my interpretation is that he's saying have, like, for example, creatives for the top of the funnel, different creatives for middle of the funnel, different creatives for bottom of the funnel. Did I understand you
I
correctly, Kai? To tell a story type thing. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jerome.
Yeah, so if you are, it depends. I often use different creatives for my bottom of funnel. If it's about sales, then for example, dynamic product ads are working really well because they have a really low CPM, really low cost per click. And it's good to show people who are already in your audience a different kind of creative in your bottom of funnel. But sometimes it's funny because I sometimes don't even run bottom of funnel for ad accounts, because if you have a really large spending campaign on broad, even though you're putting it at broad, if you're not excluding recent website visitors or recent video views, or any bottom of funnel audience, then Facebook will retarget themselves. So I know a ton of people who are running like 20, 30, 40K ad spend a day, and they're not even doing bottom of funnel because Facebook will do part of the bottom of funnel for you. I think so. Facebook has their own AI product, which is called Advantage Plus, Advantage Plus Shopping. Um, I think that's going to work really well because essentially you don't really need to run a bottom of funnel campaign. But to get back to the question, testing with different creatives for your bottom of funnel is definitely worth a shot. So broadest, then segment pixel. I would first, so if you have a brand new account, first segment, try to lead Facebook, the algorithm into the right direction, and then go to broad. Eventually you want to always end with broad, because if you want to really scale with segmented targeting, you can get really good results, but you're gonna hit a ceiling really fast. And often I see accounts hit that ceiling and they're unable to exceed it just because they have their ads, their campaign structure set up too segmented. So it's best to in the beginning already look for a strategy where you can go really broad. That's what Alex is saying. Try to find a really large audience because it has huge scaling potential, and that's eventually what you always want for yourself or for your client, obviously. Some of the ads I run on Meta are for housing, so very limited in audience, typically select city, just max. Any of these for broader audience. If you are limited to a certain region, then obviously you cannot exceed that. But I would never, so in the beginning, again, try to segment, but eventually try to make it as broad as possible. If you need to segment out, for example, a gender or an age group, then if there's no other option, do that. But a funny example, and this depends on the account, but I was running ads for a female clothing brand, but my broad ad set, so also including male audience, was outperforming my broad female ad set, but it's only female clothing. But the algorithm knew that it was only female clothing, so they were only showing the ads to females. Therefore, just leaving it open for the algorithm worked better for me. I'm not saying that will always work better, but just try to not give the algorithm too many instructions. But if you're limited to a certain region, then there's no other option than doing that. If I'm testing deal magic hooks, I've tried some of the hooks, yes, but I haven't tested it in combination with scroll stopping images yet. But one thing I caught myself constantly when I'm scrolling on Instagram I caught myself stopping from scrolling when I noticed Alex's ads. So and that's when I reached out to him again, because I'm constantly seeing his ads and they're working really, really well. So for sure, it's working. Any more questions? Basically, my rule of thumb always is to not give Facebook a hard time. So when I always like to do automatic placements. If you really need to limit it to reels, then there's no other option. But automatic placements usually is always the best. Don't give Facebook a hard time by selecting really difficult placements. Same goes for targeting. Don't give Facebook instructions to only target it to people between 18 and 24. You're giving Facebook a hard time.
CPMs, they punish you with the CPM.
And they'll punish you with the CPMs. Yes. The only situation where that might work is when you are advertising a really, really specific product. So if the product you're trying to sell is like 100 grand plus, then maybe you need to segment out a good portion of your audience, and then the CPM will be really high, the cost per click will be really high. But if you're selling a product that's more than 100 grand, that might be better. Or if your sales guys are constantly calling unqualified leads, then you could decide to narrow down your audience. Therefore, your CPM is going to go up, your cost per click is going to go up, but the amount of booked calls is going to go down, but the quality of the booked calls is going to go up. So eventually, it's a game you need to play. Do you feel Facebook's tracking of leads and sales value has improved? Do you have third-party tracking software you prefer? I feel like it has become a lot better than when iOS 14 was first introduced. Currently, I always like to check it with a third-party software for sure. Really, this is a really important thing. Look at your attribution model. Facebook's trick when iOS 14 was introduced was to change the attribution model. Not only Facebook, TikTok did that. Google probably did that. Snapchat did that. Snapchat is the worst of all, by the way. And I will explain it. So attribution model is when Facebook gets credit for the sale. It was always 7-day click. If you click on an ad and you buy or you convert within 7 days, the ad will get credit. That's already a pretty long attribution window. They changed it to 7-day click, 1-day view, which means that if I'm scrolling through my feed, I'm already an existing customer, or I was already going to buy or give my information because of an email or Google. If I'm scrolling past the ad, so it counts as a view, then the ad will get credit if that's within 24 hours. And it's extremely inflated. I've seen accounts have a ROAS of 10, and after changing the attribution model from 7-day click, 1-day view to just 7-day click, ROAS has gone down to 2 or even less. Yeah, and also, so if it's for a lower ticket product or for a lead, I always like to change it to sometimes even to 1-day click, because I'd rather see deflated data, so ROAS being lower than it actually is, instead of the other way around. And a third-party tracking tool for sure is worth it, but just compare all the data together.
Yeah, what Jeremy was referring to was consideration cycle. So products with high consideration cycle, you have no option but considering a long attribution window. For most e-commerce products, like Jeroen was mentioning, or low ticket offers, for sure, like you got to make it super short. Regarding tracking itself, we've used Hyros in the past, but I don't use it anymore. So we use Facebook API, conversion API, super accurate, like super accurate, I'm telling you guys. So you need to integrate it though. So when the conversion happens, it needs to actually make an API call into Facebook. Now in our ultra fast funnels, I'm going to have it built in. So it automatically does it with just you connect your Facebook. We are going through the Facebook app integration process right now. It takes like forever to get approved. But once that's done, in our ultra fast funnels, you just log in, connect to your Facebook ads manager, and then you say, this is my funnel, and it makes API calls. No longer, you don't even need to put Facebook conversion event on your pages anymore. It just automatically makes API calls to Facebook if you run it. And that's like as accurate as it gets, because you're passing the customer information and value of the purchase directly to Facebook. They do a user matching, not cookie matching.
And running Facebook ads can be a bit overwhelming in the beginning. But as soon as you get a hang of it, it's actually really easy. And they're making it more accessible for the beginner now. I mean, back in like 2017, it was all about targeting interest. I was testing campaigns with like 100 different ad sets, all set to $10 a day, all different target interests, doing huge split tests myself. Nowadays, they're trying to make it way easier for a beginner to start running ads. That's why they have Advantage Plus Shopping. Basically, you have a campaign where they do the targeting. You just post 15, 20, 30 different ads, depending on the budget. And the algorithm will place it wherever. They will target it to whoever. And they will place the ad whenever. It's really easy for the beginner to start with. But if you just know the simple tricks, you can stand out from the rest for sure. Do you find it more effective to have a free offer to get them into your funnel, or just make the offer straight up? For instance, I'm running ads for a monthly subscription coaching program. I would personally suggest to go for a free trial, just because. But it depends. It obviously depends on how you're going to make sure that they stick, and if the coaching program is any good, obviously. But free trial is really good, just because there are so many competitors out there, and you need to stand out. And in order to make someone convert, they need to trust you. So either have a guarantee, pay afterwards, free trial. It makes things easier for sure. What would you say is your top 3 simple tricks you use with Facebook ads that make you stand out, that you use personally in your campaigns? For sure, it's a really good question, to be honest, because top 3 simple tricks, it goes with experience. So I don't even know what the top 3 tricks are. Probably leaving it to broad audience is already a trick, because everyone always starts at the fact that the first question I got was about targeting interest. Everyone is focusing on what the best audience is, what the best targeting is in terms of age group. While really, I would focus on the creative. I would focus on the hooks. I would focus on making people stop scrolling. That's where Facebook is going. They want you to focus on the creative. Just keep in mind that you want to leave it to, you don't want to make it too difficult for them. I've mentioned this previously. Don't make it too difficult for the algorithm. There'll be a trick I use. Everyone always wants to. I've actually entered an ad account recently where a marketing agency was running the ads, and I noticed their daily spend was $1,000, and they had 50 campaigns with low spend each, all with lookalike audiences, targeting interest, retargeting, 7-day add to cart, 14-day add to cart. They were overcomplicating things. If you just consolidate all of those campaigns into 3 simple campaigns: top of funnel, which is broad; middle of funnel, which is lookalike audiences; bottom of funnel, which is your retargeting groups, add to cart, website view, on platform engagement. The performance already was so much better just by not overcomplicating it. And then my last trick would be, try for your retargeting, try out these on platform retargeting audiences. So everyone who has engaged with your Facebook page recently, or everyone who has watched 25% of your videos, because Apple is making it difficult for Facebook to keep track of what people are doing on the website. Therefore, Facebook really wants to focus on data that they have control over, which is what people are doing on their platform. So as soon as you leave Facebook and go to someone's website, it gets more difficult for Facebook to keep track of what you're doing. So for me, retargeting groups that are working really well are Instagram page engagement and Facebook page engagement, because these are people who are engaging on the Facebook and Instagram platform. So Facebook can see everything what they're doing. That's a really strong one for myself. What do you think about running ads to a live webinar for a coaching program instead of doing a free trial? I mean, just test it. Just test it, yeah. I mean, it could work, but it also could not work. Testing is easy. I would just test it, see what the results are, pick the winner of the split test and double down on it. That's nice to hear, Adrian. Thanks. Any more questions? Again, no stupid questions can be asked. Do you run traffic campaigns or prefer sales campaigns? This might be personal opinion, Alex. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you are talking to someone from Facebook, they will always trick you into setting up traffic campaigns to warm up the algorithm, and you first need to spend you first need to spend 10K on an engagement campaign before you can move to sales, or they want you to set up an add to cart campaign, then move to checkout, then move to sales. I think it's nonsense. I've started ad accounts myself, just straight away went to conversion, sales. Just make sure your ad is good. Yes, you might not get the best CPM because it's a brand new account. Yes, the algorithm will not be the smartest, but still, don't trick yourself into spending thousands of dollars on traffic campaigns or engagement campaigns, because for me, the reality is it doesn't work. It doesn't contribute to your success eventually.
And have in mind, guys, if you're maximizing for click, okay, so Facebook knows who are the most likely people to click on ads, and they also know who are the most likely people to purchase. So if I'm optimizing for purchase and you are optimizing for click, essentially out of that Venn diagram, the small percentage of them that actually purchase, Facebook has no option but to optimize, especially if I have a cost cap, has no option but to target that subset. And what's left is all the people who click and don't convert. That's what you're going to get.
That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like that's what you're doing essentially by bidding for things that are not an actual conversion event.
Yeah, and for them, obviously, they want you to start running that, because for them it's an easy way of getting extra money.
And they have users that they cannot optimize for. People are not bidding on that impression, and it's like you get a lot of clicks. You feel good about yourself, but they are literally the leftovers from people who click a lot. So Venn diagram everybody who a lot of them don't engage with ads at all. Then imagine a set of people who are more likely to engage with ads, and then there's a subset of people who are likely to give information. Okay, so fill out lead forms, and then there's a subset of that who are people who are interested in purchasing. So you want that middle piece, okay?
Yeah, that's also funny story. I sometimes add to cart campaigns worked in 2018 when maybe your pixel wasn't, there was a glitch with Facebook where you had to they call it the pixel fix. Developers, you could hire a developer for a few $1,000s and he would fix your pixel so that it tracked 100%, but some of the new accounts only had 30% correct tracking. So what we could do was set up an add to cart campaign and it would get sales. Later on, when the algorithm got smarter, I had a situation where I tested an add to cart campaign. I literally got 100 add to carts, not a single checkout, because Facebook knew exactly who was going to add it to cart, but not buy. Which is really funny, because
that is
you really
exactly
think
right.
that if someone is going to add it to their cart, surely someone out of 100 people are going to proceed to checkout. But that's how crazy the algorithm is. And again, to get back to where we started with, you are not smarter than the algorithm. The fact that they will get 100 add to carts for you without a single checkout, they're getting what you ask for. So don't be mad at them. You ask for add to carts, they're getting you exactly add to carts, but nothing more than that. So to get back to another question, top 3 simple tricks that I use. don't always listen to what Facebook is saying, because they want to, obviously they want the best for them. They want what's best for them. So some of you already have already seen this maybe, but after spending a few $100s or a few $1,000s, you will be offered a meta rep or a marketing pro, I think they call them now. These are always, they don't know what they're doing. They're young guys, often just students who don't know anything about beta.
They've never run ads themselves. It's
Never.
yeah.
Never. And they will trick you into spending more money or testing a stupid strategy. And also, Facebook always tries to in a sneaky way implement an update where they take away some of your features. And Alex, I'm not sure if you've seen it. I think this was 2 years ago. We always had the option to just target your targeting interests. So if I want to only target people who are interested in soccer, Facebook would just only target those people. Then they had target expansion. So basically what you're saying is, I want to target people who like soccer, but Meta or Facebook can reach people outside of that audience if it's going to likely increase your performance. That's nonsense. It's just easier for them, because obviously when they can place it wherever, also to people who don't like soccer, it's easier for them. They can make more money. And then what they did was, you had a toggle switch, and they made it more difficult for you to turn off that toggle switch. So when you have multiple ad sets selected, you could not untoggle that option. You had to manually go to every single ad set and untoggle it. That's because Facebook wanted to make it hard for you to untoggle that option, because it was so much easier for them and they could make more money. So don't listen to what Facebook is saying all the time. These meta marketing pros, they will review your account. They will act like you're making a ton of mistakes. Don't believe that. Test it yourself, because I've seen my strategies do completely the opposite to what they were saying. Test it yourself. Your data will tell.
Yeah. Side note here, guys. By the way, what Jerome said is like very important. You gotta test it yourself. Whatever strategy here, implement it, test it, and if you're not getting results, move on to the next strategy. Okay, and even if you're getting results, test new strategies. Always be testing. Now, one thing I realized, I was actually looking at our back end scroll stopping ads generations by users last night, looking at what users are doing. There is a video in the Academy where I talk about specifically how to use that feature properly. I still see people putting their business description, it says image description for a reason. At the top, there's a button that says generate ideas. There's a formula on how to come up with a scroll stopping ad images. That formula, I have a video on it. It needs to be specific. You cannot copy paste your business description. For example, if you go to Magic Hooks, type in your business description, it doesn't pre-populate into scroll stopping images for a reason. And the reason is that nobody cares about your business model. That's what you input to our system. Okay. And our system then create user-facing material for you. So what instead you need to do is either come up with the specific image ideas yourself, or click the generate ideas button at the top. If you've already entered your business description somewhere else in our system, it automatically pre-populates. If not, just type in boring terms your business description, or put the URL of the website. We have a URL interpreter, or you can take an image, okay, of if it's an e-commerce product. Take an image with your phone, like I did in my example of I did it with a deodorant. So take an image, put a URL, or type in what your business is, and then our engine in the back end comes up with 20 specific ideas for your ad image. The same with hero image. Toggle through the one that you like, generate. Okay. So this is what happens when you try to put your business inside the image idea. It generates an image that is trying to explain your business model, which is literally irrelevant to the end user. Does that make sense? So is like the user doesn't care how you make money or how your business works. You want to grab their attention with a specific idea, image idea, okay? And the system can generate it. You just have to know how to use that feature properly. There's a button at the top, and we're going to change the UI to make it even more clear. In the next 2 weeks, there's going to be another UI refresh. But click on the button at the top, type in your business description. It generates specific image ideas for you. Toggle through, it generates 20 at a time. Once you go to number 20, you click next, it generates 20 more. It takes about 3 minutes to generate 20 ideas, okay?
Which platform has better conversion rate between Facebook ad, Instagram ads? So again, what I would do is just have automatic placements, have Facebook figure it out. So they will place your ads, some on Facebook, some on Instagram, and whatever is working best, the algorithm will send most spend towards the best platform. I have ads that are an automatic placement where 95% of spend is going towards Instagram, or vice versa, spend is going towards Facebook. So I would let Facebook figure that out. And obviously with Facebook, I mean Facebook and Instagram, one organization together called Meta. I still struggle to call it Meta sometimes, guys. Doesn't your target audience depend on which is best, Insta or Facebook? So eventually, whatever you are selling or offering, I have ad accounts that I run where the target audience is mostly on Facebook. Then the algorithm will find that out, and you will see pretty soon that most of your spend is being spent on Facebook ads. But again, leave it on automatic placements, or at least if you want to limit it to Reels and Stories, have both Facebook and Instagram Reels and Stories in your placements. Don't limit it to only one platform. I wouldn't do that. How do I do automatic placements? It's currently, I think it's called Advantage Plus placements or Advantage placements. They keep changing the names. It always was automatic placements. Currently they call it Advantage placements, and that's auto selected. So unless you untoggle that, it'll be automatically be set on automatic placements. Any courses online to master what you are discussing? I find it very difficult to call out a good course. I think YouTube will teach you a lot, but experience will teach you more. So just play around with your own budget, or just set up some small campaigns. Watch a lot of YouTube videos. Watch recent YouTube videos. If you look at YouTube videos that are 2 years old, it will be outdated. If you look at YouTube videos that are a year old, it will be outdated. This game is constantly changing. That's also why some large marketing agencies are really behind on the current trend, because they were relevant when they started a few years ago, and all of their employees are following the strategy that they might have come up with 2 years ago, but currently it's outdated, so it doesn't work anymore. So keep updating yourself. I look at YouTube videos myself all the time. I just try to look for new strategies, talk with other media buyers, try to enter group chats with other media buyers, network. I do that all the time. Confused. So client prefers Insta for their audience, so set up Insta ads, then smaller ad for Facebook. So I would never let a client decide what platform their ads are being displayed on. I come across this issue all the time. They say, yeah, my audience is probably on Instagram, so please place my ads on Instagram. And I tell them the same that I'm telling you guys. The algorithm is smarter than you. The algorithm is smarter than me. Alex might not want to hear this, but the algorithm is smarter than Alex. So leave it up to the algorithm. Please don't listen to what your client is saying, because they're hiring you to do the work, so they don't have experience.
And they're wrong. And they're wrong.
And they're wrong, for sure. They're wrong.
They think they know the age range or whatever. They don't. And Facebook, no, Facebook absolutely. So Meta allows you to run on Facebook and Insta at the same time. So no, that's not true.
on an agency business account. No, what was the reason of it being banned? Because policy violations are a thing, especially when you have a new account. Often it will just be because of an invalid reason, just try to appeal. And maybe if there is something in your ad that's not according to the policy, try to take a look at that. I'm not sure what the reason of the violation was. I don't think privacy policy on your page would be the reason. And their reasoning for violations are super vague. They will call it try to work around their systems. Well, what are their systems and what's the violation? They will be really vague. Just try to appeal, and if it doesn't work, I guess you have to if you get a hard ban, you would have to set up a new business manager. Agency accounts usually are only, I know a lot of like drop shippers who use agency accounts, but that's because they get restricted all the time because they're drop shippers. So I don't think agency accounts are necessary. Only if you want to start spending a lot right away. Brand new accounts have a spending limit, and you need to build up trust with Facebook slowly. So first they will let you spend $50 a day, move it up to 80, move it up to 100. If you want to spend a lot of money right away, then an agency account might be something for you, but I don't think that'll be an issue in the beginning.
All right, Jerome, thanks for jumping on last minute. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Jerome. Thank you, Alex.
All right,
Thank you
see you
for your
guys.
engagement.
See ya.
Great questions, guys. Thank you.